As many of you know, I tore my hamstring playing tennis about 5 weeks ago, and while I was recovering, resting, I developed severe sciatica through, I guess, pelvic instability. And it took me a while to get an appointment with sports physio, but I finally did, and he gave me an amazing rehab program. And a bunch of you have asked me to share that with you. It's in 2 phases, and I'm gonna just simply go through the exercises with you. And some of them need to be done twice a day, some of them need to be done 5 times a day. And as with all exercise, in order for it to work, you've got to be consistent. So I've been extremely diligent with my exercises, and I have to tell you that my lower back pain, which I've been suffering with for a couple of years actually, has almost completely disappeared, and I'm able to run again. In fact, part of my physio is to run. So I did start with 5 minutes of running on the treadmill, and I basically just kept adding minutes to it as long as I was pain-free. And I'm happy to report that now I'm up to 3 miles a day, about 45 minutes to do those 3 miles. So I'm not running quickly, but I am also implementing a new technique in running, which is trying to hit a cadence of 180 beats per minute with my feet, which has been quite hard, but music has helped. So finding music that has that same cadence, or maybe even 90 beats per minute, then I can, adapt my my rhythm to that, has been very helpful. And yeah, I'm getting used to it, and I haven't been able to run in 3 years, so I'm really happy about that. I've just been cleared to do some plyometric stuff as well, so you can look forward to seeing me resume some of my more intense workouts. But anyway, all that to say, let's begin. I'm going to show you the exercises for phase 1, and I did those for a week, and maybe you want to do them for 2 weeks. You just have to listen to your body and see how you feel. And then the next video I make will be phase 2, which is a progression of that circuit. Okay, so welcome to Short Circuits. I'm not going to say let's get sweaty, because we're not going to get sweaty. And yeah, I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to everybody who is socially distancing and self-isolating right now with COVID-19. It's kind of, you have to just flip your attitude. I know it can be hard, but we're at home with our families, and we can just get back to some of the old-fashioned activities, like taking walks together and playing board games, cards, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Let's get to it, guys. The first exercise is from a crawling position. So your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips, your elbows are straight, your neck is long, it's an extension of the spine. We're going to be doing anterior pelvic tilts, so that's arching your back and lifting your tailbone up, and then you're going to come back to a neutral position. I've got my timer set for 10 rounds of 5 seconds each, and this particular exercise should be done 5 times a day. So I'm starting my timer, and I'm starting from the neutral position. And then it's the anterior tilt. So I did say neck was long, so we keep those eyes down. And then recover. Arch. Lift that tailbone. Recover. You know the drill. Arch, recover, so it's pretty simple. Almost there. All right, moving on to exercise number 2. So I have to reset my timer for this next one, which should be done twice a day. I'm gonna set my timer for 5 seconds, and then 30-second hold. And I'm going to set it for 3 sets. And this is the Gym Boss timer in case you're interested. And you're gonna turn around. You're lying on your back, and we're gonna do a figure 4 stretch. So we're just gonna take one foot and cross it over the opposite leg, just below the knee, on the thigh. I'm gonna start my timer, so 5 seconds, and then we're gonna pull it in. And we're holding for 30 seconds. And feel free to relax the leg that's not doing anything. See if you can pull it in a little bit more. You can flex the foot as well. That will help to protect the knee. And then we release. And then we go again. Bring it in a little bit more. I can't remember if I said, but this one needs to be done twice a day. Release. One more time. Pull it in, pull it in. Sometimes I like to change it a little bit, holding on to the outside of the foot and the outside of the knee, and just kind of pull it in myself. It's up to you. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. 5 seconds, cross that leg over. You can flex the foot, reach through, and pull it in. And release, and bring it in. As you can see, I sometimes forget to flex this foot. It really is most important if you have any kind of knee issues. It does help to prevent injury of that area, but I'm a little slack sometimes and my foot just relaxes. I don't have any issues with my knee, so it's okay for me, but you have to listen to yourself. And release. Last time, bring it in. And I'm gonna just swap and make it a little bit more intense. And that's it for the figure 4 stretches. Okay, gonna change the timer now to 5 seconds and 10 seconds. And this, guys, is probably the most effective exercise for lower back pain. Apparently it is the most prescribed exercise for any kind of lower back pain, which has been the biggest eye-opener to me. It's the Cobra, basically. You're gonna lie down on your belly, And the hands are gonna be a little bit in front of you. And then what you're gonna do is try to relax your legs and your glutes particularly, and straighten those arms and come up, okay? So you're gonna think about breathing into the back of your body and relaxing the glutes, because once you start thinking about your glutes, you'll realize that they're pretty engaged, and we want to be able to relax them and really get a nice stretch through the front of the body and working the muscles in the back, so the back extension. Okay, so it's a 5 and 10 interval for 10 rounds, and this one also needs to be done 5 times a day. Up, and then think about relaxing those glutes. You can always relax them a little bit more and lower down. Up. You'll feel them, they're tight, and then you just breathe in. Try to keep the shoulders down and lower down. And up. And really, I always thought this one was a no-no for back pain, but yeah, I can't tell you how much relief this has provided me. And remember, this is my rehab program. Mine. I'm sharing it with you. It may not work for you, but it probably will. And really breathe the air into the lower part of your belly and your back, your lower back. It feels like you're making room in there. Got to be getting close. Yep. So I'm not really counting in my head. I just set my timer and leave it, so I don't have to think too much. Okay, moving on to the next exercise, which is good old hamstring stretches. So I'm setting my timer again, 5 seconds and 30 seconds. And this time I'm gonna set it for 6 rounds. So I'm gonna be doing 3 sets on each side, but I'm gonna alternate just for a change, so I don't get too bored. So you're lying on your back, your knees are bent, feet on the floor. And we're gonna start the 5 seconds. And actually guys, if you want to, as an option, you can use a strap. Totally your call. The strap does help to relax the upper body a little bit and maybe get a little bit bigger stretch, bigger range of motion on that stretch. But anyway, I'll use the strap. 5 seconds. And yeah, you can bring that leg in. And this is my, my injured leg. In case you're interested, I did have a partial hamstring tear, and I really couldn't do anything like this 2 weeks ago. If you want, you can also stretch out the other leg on the floor. It's up to you. All right, quickly alternating. I almost have more range on my injured leg, I think, than this one. Try to straighten the leg. Don't just think about pulling it towards your head. You want to think about extending, pressing through the heel, toes towards you. Switch. Switch. I'm thinking as I'm stretching about how I've really neglected stretching over the years. I've done a little bit, but nothing like this. So important, especially as we age. Those muscles lose elasticity. All right, I'm gonna put the strap down just so I can demonstrate stretching without the strap. You're just walking your hands up along the back of your leg, wherever feels comfortable. Don't forget you're looking at straightening your leg before you're pulling it in. Toes are down, and you can extend the other leg on the floor. It's up to you. Doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, this leg is tighter. Probably because it's been compensating. Our bodies are great compensators. Okay, so that's our hamstring stretches down. And I'm gonna change the timer back. Sorry for all of these timer changes, but they are important. 5 seconds and 10 seconds and 10 rounds. No rehab program would be complete without glute bridges. So that's what we're gonna do next. You're lying on your back and your heels are within range of your fingers and your feet are pretty close together. And what we're gonna do is just lift those hips up, squeeze really, 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 really hard, keeping the knees in line with the feet, the toes, and then lowering down. Okay, so 5-second countdown, and then we're gonna lift and hold for 10 seconds. So here we are, squeezing and lifting as high as possible, trying to keep that upper body relaxed. And this one needs to be done 5 times a day. And remember, that's the goal, guys. So you try to hit the 5 times a day. And if you can't, if you hit 4 times a day or 3 times a day, it's better than nothing. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as hard as you can, pressing the feet into the floor. And when I first tried this after the injury, I couldn't even lift at all. Well, I could have lifted on one side, but not the other. Such a strange feeling to have no strength in your muscles. And an amazing feeling when it resumes and you get it back. So I got to change the timer again. I'm going to change it to 5 and 30, 6 times, 6 rounds. And we're going to do a seated stretch. I'm going to take one leg out and the other leg is bent. The sole of the foot is against the inner thigh of that extended leg, and we're facing straight ahead. And what we're going to do is reach opposite hand to foot, and then we have the free hand over here just to support, okay? And we're gonna hold that for 30 seconds, and then we're gonna come up for 5 seconds and back down for 30 seconds. We're gonna do that 3 times, and this one needs to be done twice a day. For me, even though this is supposed to be a hamstring stretch, I feel it in my glute, so the glute of the bent leg. And it just feels really nice. It feels like a really great stretch from the base of my skull all the way down the side of my body into my hip. And I really like this stretch. It's not a stretch that I would normally do at all, because you're kind of rounded over, and it feels like maybe it doesn't look quite right, but it has been very helpful. Anyway, without further ado, let's do this. 5 seconds, nice big breath in, and then we're reaching. So try to relax this bent leg. Sometimes I find myself lifting the leg and there's tension in it. You want to really soften it up. And yeah, I'm feeling a great stretch along the side body here, right into my glute and my hip. And come on up, big breath in and down. So as you're recovering, sorry, just fixing my mic, you're realizing that this is quite a lengthy process. It's a comprehensive rehab circuit, I guess, rehab program. And yeah, you really have to take the time to do it. It's not going to work if you only do it once in a while. I guess that means you're going to have to walk around in soft clothes, as my friend Mona likes to call them. And since you're probably at home watching this, it's probably because of COVID-19, we're probably all walking around in soft clothes right now. So that's a good thing. We're going to switch sides. I couldn't remember if I did 3 or not. And reach. Now I'm doing these stretches for 30 seconds. My physio suggested 20 seconds or more. So as long as you get 20 seconds in, you're good. So if you are short on time, you want to save a little bit of time, not a lot, you can just set your timer for 20 seconds. And I feel a lot tighter on the side that's not injured, as I've said before, because I think that for the last 5 weeks, my body's really been compensating on that side, and everything's been getting tight, and that's part of why I had so much back pain. Abnormal back pain, I should say. And this is the last one coming up. All right, I believe there's just one more stretch. Let me just double check. Yep. Okay, so there's just one more stretch. It is a adductor stretch, so a stretch for the inner thighs. So I'm just going to readjust the camera. Okay, so this last one is for the adductor, the inner thigh. It's going to be done from a standing position. So I'm going to stand towards one side of my mat, and what it looks like is just this. You're gonna step out to the side, toes are gonna point forward, you're gonna support your lower back with your hands on your thigh, and you're gonna push your hips back, okay? So you're really getting that stretch in that inner thigh. I've already got my timer set for 5:30 from the last exercise, so I'm gonna press start, and this one needs to be done twice a day, okay? So here we go, stretch, really feel it in that inner thigh. Eyes are down, whatever you need to do to keep your spine and neck in a long line. And relax. Last one coming up on this side. Maybe you can increase that stretch a little bit, moving that leg out a little bit more. Just as long as you're feeling it. Okay, we're going to be doing the other side. We already have our legs wide. No need to change that, just shift the weight to the other side. Sometimes things happen to us, we don't know why. This whole injury setback thing has been a hard one for me to swallow, but I've really learned a lot. And I think I've learned to be patient most of all. The exercises are one thing, but having the commitment and the patience to see them through has been another. But when you want something bad enough, when you have the desire, and I have the desire to obviously be able to resume my normal activities. I especially want to make videos for you and get back to playing tennis. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey. But I feel like I've been handed a toolbox, and you'll see when you get to phase 2 as well how it's a little bit more challenging, and it's I don't know what to say, because I just feel so grateful. I felt so frustrated before, and now I feel so grateful that I have a toolbox that I can use anytime I feel like maybe I've got some sort of weird pelvic instability happening, muscle imbalance, obviously through pain, because that's the way, the message that your brain sends to your body that things are not right, is through pain. Now I feel like I have, I have the tools to be able to address the issues, and those exercises that we are starting with are super effective, and then you're going to see how crazy it is for phase 2 and how much stronger you're going to feel when you can actually do those movements. So you're going to want to check those out. But we have one more thing to do before I finish up. Okay, down on the floor with your tennis ball or lacrosse ball. I'm using the lacrosse ball because it's harder and it's going to be more effective for me. I do this twice a day, and it's optional for you guys. You wanted to see my whole routine, so this is why I'm sharing this with you. You want to place it under your glute. Well, I want to place it under my glute, and I want to find the spot that's most sticky, most uncomfortable. My physio, he kind of used the word pain, but that was tongue-in-cheek. He was kind of joking. He wanted me to just understand that I want to go into the area that's obviously the most affected, the most scar tissue buildup, and really get in there deep. Now, he only said to do it for 1 minute, so I've set my timer for a 5-second countdown and 1 minute of rolling, and yeah, go. So really find that area that feels uncomfortable, and you can go side to side, up and down, round in a circle, whatever you need to do to really get in there. This is really good to promote the creation of healthy tissue and get rid of dead tissue. And if you enjoy a really deep massage, then you will enjoy this in a bit of a masochistic way. Well, that's me. Very crunchy. And that's it. So just 1 minute. You don't want to aggravate the tissue too much. All right, guys. So that's my rehab program. Phase 1. I will film phase 2 in a couple days, and we'll post it. And yeah, take care of yourselves. I hope everyone is healthy and doing the right thing. We all have to play our part at this time, and I'm not going to go on and on about it because, God, it's everywhere. It's on the news. I think we've heard enough about it. But if you're home, you got lots of workouts to choose from, and if you're enjoying them, I always ask you to like and share. That's really helpful for me. Until next time, take care of you, be healthy, be happy, and get sweaty.